It was just a piece of paper, but it felt like a punch to the gut. My landlord had taped a typed letter to my door, telling me I had 72 hours to move out. No court seal, no legal notice, no reason given. Just bold, angry text and a deadline. I think he expected me to panic, pack my bags, and disappear. It started on a Tuesday evening when I came home from work and saw the notice stuck to my door. At first glance, it looked official enough to be terrifying. The more I read it, the more confusing it became. There was no explanation for the eviction. Even though I had always paid my rent on time, I kept to myself and was the kind of tenant landlords usually forget about. That night, panic set in and I barely slept. The fear was overwhelming, which is exactly what notices like that are designed to do. They make you feel powerless and rushed, like you have no choice but to comply. Somewhere between the anxiety and exhaustion, something shifted. Fear slowly turned into anger, and I knew this didn't feel right. I wasn't ready to give up without understanding my rights, so I did what most people do in moments like that and opened my laptop to start researching. That's when I learned about something called a self-help eviction. It's when a landlord tries to force a tenant out without going through the court system. That can include threats, harassment, changing locks, or shutting off utilities. Every example I read sounded uncomfortably familiar. It felt like someone was describing my exact situation. Then I found the law that changed everything. Under California's Tenant Protection Act, landlords must have a valid just cause to evict tenants who have lived in a unit for at least a year. That cause must be clearly stated and legally recognized. Valid reasons include things like non-payment of rent or the owner moving into the property. My landlord's notice listed none of that. It wasn't just unfair, it was illegal. When I emailed him calmly and explained that I knew my rights and would not be leaving, the situation escalated. I started receiving aggressive text messages at all hours. He also began banging on my door repeatedly, sometimes late at night. It was obvious what he was doing. He was trying to intimidate me into leaving on my own. That's when I made the most important decision of this entire ordeal. I documented everything. Every text message was saved and screenshotted, and every incident was logged with dates and times. I also took photos of the notice on my door. I didn't rely on memory or emotion. I built a record that showed exactly what was happening. When it comes down to your word versus theirs, evidence changes everything. Next, he threatened to shut off my utilities. By that point, I knew that was also illegal. I also knew I needed help. I reached out to tenant rights organizations and found free legal assistance. With their guidance, I sent a formal cease and desist letter. The letter clearly outlined the laws he was violating. Eventually, he filed an official eviction case in court. This time, I was prepared and no longer afraid. With my attorney's help, I filed a response and submitted all my documentation. The courtroom showdown I had feared never happened. Faced with overwhelming evidence, my landlord's lawyer advised him to drop the case. The eviction was dismissed. I didn't have to move. I won. The relief was immediate and overwhelming. What I learned is